Kirby! Kirby! Kirby. I don't know about you, but I love me some Kirby. If you don't know Kirby, where have you been the last 20 years? It's a series of platforming masterpieces designed to be both easy enough for beginners to enjoy and challenging enough for the experts. I still can't beat the True Arena. With a series this popular, a racing spinoff was bound to happen. It happens with all the successful game franchises, why not the pink puffball? So, we got just that with Kirby Air Ride. But just like the series is known to do, it didn't follow the traditional tropes of racing games we're used to. It doesn't even have a button to accelerate. What is this? That's what we're going to talk about today. I mean, what do you expect? It's in the title of the huh? Who are you? And what do you want? Wait, no! Okay, back to Air Ride. The visuals are crisp and capture that cartoonish yet beautiful style the Kirby games have always done so well. A lot of the music is ripped straight from past games in the anime, but I'm not complaining. The music is all amazing! There's 3 main game modes to this game. The standard Air Ride races, the Top Ride races, and my and pretty much everybody else's favorite, City Trial. Let's start with Air Ride. It's the basic racing game mode. You race around a track, set amount of laps, bunch of characters and vehicles to choose from, though for whatever reason DD and Meta Knight are labeled as vehicles. All in all, it's your basic racing game. Or is it? As I mentioned earlier, there is no accelerate button. You move by default. Pressing A actually slows down your vehicle and charges a boost. This basically changes everything. The charge ability is your drift, it's your brake, it's your boost. One ability does all. This was actually a point reviewers used in negative reviews towards this game, that the oversimplified controls took away from the experience. I disagree, however. Kirby games are designed so beginners can enjoy, right? Well, I believe this was my first racing game that I actually enjoyed, and it certainly was a good gateway game for me. Without it, I probably wouldn't have gotten into Mario Kart, at least not as soon as I ended up doing. You don't even have arms. Another thing I love about the mechanics in this game is the ability to glide. It is called Kirby Air Ride, after all, which lets you fly for a short period of time after riding over a ledge or down a slope. Another big mechanic is inhaling enemies, allowing you to spit them at players ahead of you, red shell style, or if they have an ability, you can copy it and then use it against your opponents. Classic Kirby abilities like Bomb, Fire, and Sleep. Yeah. Top Ride is a lot less complicated. You view a track from overhead, and the only difference between vehicles is the way you control them. You can only play as one of many multicolored Kirbys. There's no gliding, and there are no copy abilities. In their place are simple items. For example, tires that latch onto the back of you and slow you down, but you can pass them off to the other racers, and time bombs that you can throw at anyone who comes near you. Good for quick fun if you don't have enough time for a full air ride match, but definitely not as intense. Lastly, we have City Trial. Shut up. In this game mode, all the mechanics from Air Ride mode are here, but you drive around freely in a big city. Once again, you can only play as Kirby, and you have no choice of vehicle when you start out. Your goal is to collect power-ups that increase the stats of your vehicle, and also to actually find a good vehicle, as the one you start off with is weak in most stats. The power-ups spawn randomly around the map, but you can also steal power-ups from opponents by knocking into them. It gets really hectic in multiplayer, but is it just me or are the comms in this mode really stupid? When the timer runs out at the end of the city portion, you move on to the main event, a short minigame chosen randomly that makes use of the power-ups you find. So, you can have the most power-ups and still lose. It's all based on how you use your power-ups. If any of this seems familiar, it should. A mode just like this is going to be in Smash Bros. For 3DS, and I'm pumped about it! Another smart move on the developer's part is the free run mode of City Trial, where you can freely just explore the city for however long you like with any of the vehicles in the game. Speaking of vehicles, if you've played Brawl, you probably know about the 3 parts of the Dragoon that appear around the stage, and if you get all 3, it's basically a one-hit KO on anyone you aim it at. Well, the Dragoon comes from this game, and it certainly lives up to its legendary air ride title given. This thing flies amazingly! The other legendary air ride machine is the Hydra, which can't move until it's charged up all the way, but once it is... it's fast as insanity! Is that a term that works? Okay. For content, we got lots of that! 3 different modes with many different ways to play each one, and 120 different achievements to unlock in each mode. Many of the achievements unlock more characters, vehicles, and other content to play around with. I still haven't gotten all of them myself to this day. Now let's cover the multiplayer aspect. Will you play with me? 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 Ugh, no one wants to play.
Yuka!
Oh, that's right, I forgot. I have a floating disembodied head in my hair. That would have been useful earlier. Come on. Yes!
Yuck!
Whoa, 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 oh! How did you...
Yuck!
So, what are my final thoughts? Well, the game's extremely simple, but what else can you expect from a Kirby game? They took such a massive genre, that of the racer, and made something completely new. The mechanics work for beginners, but I can see why some racing experts might be driven away from the simple controls. I don't see anything bad with them, but, you know, some people might want more from it. Personally, my only complaint is the lack of tracks. It really could have used more. This game gets a superstar!